It's growing.
Woo!
Alright. Anyway, let's get ourselves started here because there's some interesting information coming up, especially when it does come to Corey Hunter and Gina Aaliyah Moore and their Jasmine Aaliyah Moore, my apologies. I can dox them. I also want that to be known that I can just dox them anytime I want. Anyway, see, Trambition at the moment has continued to be a complete shit show. And I think especially with the way that there's just so much going on. There's just so much going on, really. It's quite adorable. It's quite adorable and quite funny, really. So, I mean, Trambition and the fact that they can't pay anyone is quite funny, really. Because they did it to Wix, and Wix got off lucky because he was able to get himself a little bit of his money back. But me, I've been sitting here for nearly 9 months now. I've still yet to receive anything in terms of monetary payment. I don't know. It's interesting seeing exactly what Gina Moore has done. I'm happy to go through and link a lot of our DMs purely because she loves to deny. It's almost like she's had herself an interesting sort of lesson in terms of how to be a bitch, really. And then she called herself fat. That was pretty funny. That was quite funny, actually. I'll keep it a stack. It was quite funny. I will keep it a stack 50. It was pretty funny. But we can also take a look at Mr. Corey Snapback Hunter, who's apparently at work. I heard he was going to make himself a little bit of a he's going to make himself a bit of an appearance. Of course, when he does pick up, he will potentially make himself an appearance. Essentially, what this is going to be, I don't know. This will be a little bit of a catalogue, I guess, of everything that Trambition has done. And why the org is horrific, I guess. I mean, that's kind of... Is that fair enough? Is that fair enough? Sorry, I just had to close that one. I can't have anything leaking from the snap because... I mean, Gina's already got snap going on. She's got all of her fake Rolexes and shit. It's quite funny. Yeah, actually. Gina, how's the fake Rolex going? I know you'd be in chat. Of course, you've really got fuck all to do. How's the fake Rolly? How's the fake Rolly going? How's the fake Rolly? That's alright. When you respond, and we'll sit there. We'll have a bit of a chat. Anyway, we'll give ourselves an interesting sort of time coming through here. I wouldn't be surprised if we see a fair bit of fun coming through from this stream. Who knows? The idiots didn't change the stream key, which is the funniest bit of this thing. The idiots did not change the stream key. However, they did unmod me, so I can't change the channel, but that's alright. We're going to be playing Counter-Strike Global Offensive, but that's okay. I mean, we may as well have a bit of a cheeky look here. So, Snap says that he's stepping away from esports, which is bullshit, because he sat there and now, all of a sudden, having himself the OT3 org, it looks like it is going to be an absolute dud. The OT3 org was the org that was supposed to be set up after Trambition, you know, their big announcement post and the fact that they're running a prostitution ring over there.
Huh? Come on out, you rapist! Wow.
At Trambition, they want to step away from that. They want to get themselves into a little bit more of a, how do I say, they want to get themselves into more of a family-friendly sort of view, sort of vision, as I guess Trambition at the moment really have nothing else to really do anymore. The Trambition org is under. I just want to confirm that I have been told that it has gone under, and it's very much not coming back. That'll be quite funny. Actually, we can give her a call if you want. I'm not too fast. What's the new org? The new org supposedly is called OT3. However, I've been told that it's a dud that they created to essentially trick me. into caring. They on Twitter? No, because if they go on Twitter, they're fucked. But these two screenshots are the worst bit. The Wix situation is probably is literally the straw that broke the camel's back. Of course, not paying people who are absolute bulldogs when it comes to just everything. Anyway, Wix is a fucking G. He came out lucky. You know what? Fucking credit to him. Smaller stubs, they got out lucky. They were never promised anything. Big love to those guys. Big love to all of them. But, you know, especially seeing Jasmine, my apologies. She's actually told me off about calling her Jasmine a fair amount of times when I have DM'd her, but that's okay. Sorry, I'm just seeing the reactions on Twitter of people wondering what's going on. Hello, Ethan. How are you, my good sir? Anyway, so the thing is that this screenshot here is definitely one of the worst. This screenshot essentially is SnapApp confessing that Gina is using a catfish account. And it's, well, down here, it's owned by 2 or 3 people, really. It's owned by 2 or 3 people. This is the funny bit, right? It's owned by 2 or 3 people. Essentially, they admitted to it being a catfish. And then you sit there and you talk to Gina. Actually, do I want to leak this convo? I don't want to, okay. I want to leak this conversation. However, I don't want to leak the ones in the side. I want to leak the convo, but I don't want to leak the ones on the side because there's also an address in there. I don't want to leak the address. Okay? Guys, I don't want to leak the address. That's in there. I don't want to leak the address. So we're gonna be as careful as we possibly can with some of this. I've got to get OBS open to actually make sure I don't fuck up. All right, let's take a look. Let's take a look, shall we? Oh, no. Don't fully open. Anyway, so this is my conversation with Gina here on the side. Essentially what this is, for those of you who do not know what you are looking at, this is essentially me confronting Gina Moore once again saying, hey, you still owe people money. You're tweeting out on Twitter saying all this shit, and yet you continue to skip on paying people. And so, no, but I don't know anybody money. The usual when I talk to her. So essentially some screenshots coming in here saying, oh, you owe me money. Some screenshots saying you owe me money. Circumstantial. Oh, I didn't fucking know she knew how to spell this word, cunt. Fucking circumstantial here. You're in the photo. Circumstantial. Fuck. Cunt, she knows how to fucking spell, mate. She knows how to fucking spell. She spells it 4 times in a row. She's got the fucking dictionary out, cunt. She's sitting there fucking all of a sudden. She knows how to spell circumstantial. If you go past the fucking Addy here, there's an address down here somewhere. Oh, there it is. There's the address. Whoops, don't want to leak that. All of a sudden, she knows the word arbitration, lads. She knows the fucking word arbitration. I didn't know she had a fucking dictionary next to her. But that's all good, though. Because guess what? There's even more when it comes to here, right? Because apparently her full name's Gina Moore. She wants to sit there and she wants to be a dick. That's okay. Beautiful. She doesn't want to pay people. That's essentially what we're getting at here, right? She's essentially not paying people, right? She's okay. We all understand she's not paying people. Beautiful. It's a catfish account. It's a catfish account, essentially, is what it is. And she sat there and she's decided that she wants to fuck over people time and time again. Tried it with Wix, didn't work out. Trying it with me, and now I'm here. Anyway, so there's videos and there's clips of us sitting there and being able to get into her account, the Gina from the Bay account, and the email that was linked to it. Ooh, some Sidemen Pringles. Anyway, the Gina account and the email that was linked to it is the actual fucking email. I'm pretty sure this is the video of Snap. Yes, this is Corey Hunter's business email, or Snapback. This is us using that email onto the Gina Moore account. Hello, Wix. You made a little bit of something there. Anyway. So it says that it sent out an email. If we look at this one here now, right? We look at this one here. We look at her email address that she does use. All of a sudden, it doesn't fucking work. It doesn't work. It doesn't fucking work. It doesn't want to work. Yes, I've gone over all of this in this whole document, but that's okay. Anyway, and then this screenshot, quite funny. A lot of these screenshots at the moment, especially with the way that they did type and the way, oh yeah, make sure you do follow the Twitter, follow the org Twitter, yeah, follow the org Twitter. Anyway, especially with the way that we do see Gina type, very erratic, very disconnected within society and disconnected in between how people actually talk to each other. Seeing seeing Snap saying that Snap said it's all good, and then immediately after seeing Gina say Snap said it's all good, it's awesome. It's amazing. Sorry guys, for those of you who are just joining us, this is the org that refuses to pay me and hasn't paid me in the past 9 months. They didn't change the stream key, so I still have access to this. Let's fucking go! We're gonna make this. I'm making this a VOD. I'm keeping it. They owe me somewhere about $1,000.
Oh my God!
They owe me somewhere around $1,000. 1,000 AUD, around about. So, well. Anyway, seeing Gina saying that she's in Vegas with her girlfriend, mental. That's fucking insane. Fair enough, thought it was over 100 quid. No, the 100 quid was what the team was owed. Me personally, I was owed about $1,000. Who won Broskies or TA? Actually, if I remember correctly. Yeah, I would like to know who the actual model is. Because apparently there's also things where she's flirting with people she's flirting with fucking porn accounts on Twitter. Anyway, we'll go into that a bit later. Essentially, the Gina Moore Spotify account. Okay, listen. I'll agree with that. The model. Listen, if I didn't have a girlfriend, the model.
What do you mean by that?
The Gina Moore Spotify account, even if you go to the actual Spotify account now, I will, just to prove it, I guess. There it is. I have to go out of this one, The Gina Moore Spotify account, you go to it, it's linked to Snapback's fucking Discord, and then you go here, the Gina Moore Spotify account, with the real Snapback up top. You even look at Snapback's fucking Discord, and the Gina Moore Spotify account is linked to the Discord. They are the same fucking person. They are the same person. Anyway. We've been trying to call Snap the entire time we've been live as well. If he wants to pick up, that would be awesome. Actually, we'll go back into streamer mode just so the pings don't annoy everybody. Where's it gone? There it is. Found the button. All good. Found the button. There we go. Corey, your time to pick up, mate. Your time to pick up. Anyway, seeing some stuff where I'm tired of everyone thinking she's used my email, and the fact is she didn't have one. We've just proved that she had one. I can go through contracts and prove that she's got a different one. I can go through offered contracts from OTV and prove that she has others. You're digging yourself a bigger hole here, right? And then, apparently, the Gina account is Corey's ex-wife, which is funny seeing that fucking incel was able to speak to a woman, let alone marry one. Anyway, it seems that pages are continuing to rotate anyway. Anyway, we found out that Corey can't spell. Of course, this one right here, my favorite bit, Corey cannot spell. And then Smiler and Stubbs, essentially, why has this become a footer? That's what I want to know. What's happened to this? This is all fucked. This is all fucked. Okay, undo, it'll fix itself. It's fixed itself, beautiful. Anyway, Smiler and Stubbs, these two got royally fucked. Honestly, I feel so bad for these two boys. These two boys got fucked over so bad. Apparently, Smiler and Stubbs were meant to be the two people who were running the org, the GM and the COO of the org at the time when I was contacted. Smiler and Stubbs were essentially going to be the two people running the thing. 2 weeks into their control of the org, Gina come in and essentially decided that she doesn't like anybody. Hello, we've seen someone join into the Google Doc. Thank you for reading along. Of course, a little bit of an audio book if you want to have that kind of thing. But essentially, essentially... essentially, right, you're seeing Smiler and Stubbs be fucked. These guys weren't owed any money. Actually, that's false. Stubbs was owed money, if I remember correctly. Stubbs was owed $100 from the initial opening of True Ambition back in 2016, back in 2017. He was contacted as part of the revival. He was meant to be running the org. Essentially, he got fucked up. I feel so bad for Smiler and Stubbs. These two boys were thrown under the bus time and time again, purely because of the incompetence of True Ambition. And the fact that Gina Moore, and the fact that Gina Moore and the fact that Corey Hunter can sit there time and time again, have themselves a platform to be able to take advantage of people, to be able to take advantage of hard-working people and people who are there to do a job for them, is absurd to me. And the fact that they've been able to continue getting away scot-free, ridiculous. Absurd. This is the shit that pisses me off. Honestly, I wouldn't be pissed off if fucking they had said, we're not going to pay you. And then they didn't pay me. I would be like, that's fine. You said you weren't going to pay me. But up here, you've said that you're going to pay me $225 a month. Up here. Back in December. Back in December last year. And then when I ask for contracts, you sit there and say, I'm sorry, I don't know who you are. And then on top of that, when I come back saying, hey, you guys still owe me money for the past 8 months, they say, we don't know who you are. Anyway, this screenshot is one of my favorites. The let me know when you pay the team and us, and then saying he doesn't owe anybody shit. That's my favorite screenshot of this entire thing. As much as this situation pisses me off, as much as we continue to see True Ambition and OT3 try to put together a semblance of a decent business, is absurd to me. Also, the fucking True Ambition was never a registered company. True Ambition as a company went down in 2015. It's just discussions, so I understand I've got no way to get it back. That's the thing. I understand I've got no way to get it back. I'm just going to continue to annoy him, because what's the org they're starting up? It's apparently OT3. And they sent me a contract for it. Which is quite funny. And then they decided that they were going to litter this contract with a whole heap of stuff that they were trying to hide. And when I call it out, they essentially say that this contract is void. Because this is the new contract that they've given me. Essentially saying that it's a employment contract as well as an NDA. And so essentially the NDA says I'm not allowed to talk about anything. Sign it, take the small claims court. I did sign it, my good friend. Finn, I did sign it. And then, do you want to see what they said to me? They said, yeah, I'm not signing my portion, so it's all null and void. And I went, is it because the org's fake? And they went, both parties have to sign it. You can take a look at it there. I deleted the signed version because it has my own personal information of it. The personal information I do have, it's already out there, mate. But it's fine. Anyway, this is the agreement that they offered me. I'm going to go through this agreement, and I'm going to sit there and I'm going to tell you exactly what we agreed to, exactly what we did not agree to, and I'm going to tell you what they tried to sneak in because they want to be cunts. Anyway, so this first page, completely happy with. This first page was the only bit they really got right. Let's keep it a stack. Anyway, the survival of this agreement, the non-disclosure and non-use obligation shall survive the termination of any other relationship between the parties. Essentially, if they continue to stay in contact with me, the NDA would stay live. The NDA would be still valid. Essentially just saying, as long as they continue to stay in contact with me, the NDA would be continued. We didn't agree to this. The agreement was 45 days after the fact that they failed to pay me. If they did fail to pay me, the NDA would become void. Anyway, governing law, they put it in the states of Ohio. It's funny because they live in Nevada. Their company apparently was based in California. And myself, I'm not based in either of those two states. My state actually wouldn't have recognized this as an actual contract. Anyway. The rest of this page is fine. My job was to essentially manage the Counter-Strike team, which is fine. They spelled esports right. That's the only thing they really do right. They spell esports correct. You know, a big ups to them. They spell esports right. It's esports with the lowercase e, capital S, yeah? This is 2012 esports stuff. It is 2012 esports stuff. Essentially it is. And I'm pissed off about it. So I've decided that I'm going to do this and I'm going to publicly shame them because they want to be dicks. Anyway, so they're saying that I have to essentially behave in a professional way when talking to members of the org. There's only three people who were working in the org at the time. It was going to be myself. Thank fucking Christ. Anyway. Public criticisms of the team or the orgs, abusive staff members, abusive position as a staff member, these are fine. These are fine. Public criticism of the org, that's usually, they owe me about $1,000 in Australian, so it's like 200, 300 fucking euro or some shit like that. Anyway. Racism, social media, that's fine. Use of offensive words. Here's the thing. Here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. The use of offensive words, essentially, what they would use as offensive words is my usual language. So we had to work that out. Anyway, this bit down here, this bit highlighted, I striked. I strike this from the contract. Essentially, what they wanted to do was they wanted to have the right to terminate me anytime without notice. Without notice, they wanted to sit there and terminate me whenever they wanted. Essentially, what they were probably going to do was they were going to use me to get a team. They were going to use me to be able to sign a roster. They were going to use me essentially to put their org together, essentially, and then fucking kick me. This is what they were planning to do. I can tell you that right now because it's what they did with Stubbs. That's what they did with Smiler. They essentially kicked them, but then still kept them as the mantle head. Anyway, here's the fun bit. Here's the bit where I had more strikes than a fucking bowling game, right, boys? So, they wanted to pay in 2 monthly installments of 200 AUD a month, which is the salary that we did agree with. Essentially, can you get 1K? Yeah, everyone in chat here does get a K as well for being here. Anyway, so the 2 monthly installments, we said put it on the first of every month, and they decided to do this. This is what we struck. This is what I wasn't too happy with. And then we had a late fee. So 7.3 and 7.2 were the two biggest things that I argued for. 7.2 was an additional bonus, essentially for the postseasons or whatever league they made, because it's Australia. It's quite easy to make postseasons. It's fairly easy. You just got to be top half of the competition. And then 7.3, the late payment fee would be $50 per week on top of the base salary. The old Phoenix contracts. I kind of want to see them. I do want to see the Phoenix contracts. I want to see a contract that's actually well written and actually, has shit in it, really. Anyway, the biggest thing about this late fee essentially was going to be the fact that they were not going to pay me. I knew that going into this. I knew that going into the negotiations. I knew that essentially the entire thing. Speak to Brody. You want to see a legit contract? I know. This is literally toilet paper. This essentially is toilet paper. Also, guys, if you have any grievances, feel free to email me at therealsnapback7@gmail.com. Just so if you have any grievances against me doing all of this, just let me know. This is my email down here. It's in the wrong section because they decided to fuck up the bit. I also asked for both of the owners to sit there and also sign the contract. They refused to do that. They refused to sign this contract, which is the funniest thing because Gina Moore essentially decided that she was going to not be a part of this org, yet wanted to continue to essentially call the shots. I asked for both owners to sign it. I essentially was told that there's only one owner, and I went, that's bullshit. So essentially, this, it's not a contract. It's not a contract, essentially. It's not a contract. It's a fucking joke. It's what it is. Essentially, this is a comedy set. This is a fucking comedy set. Glorified NDA. Essentially, yes. Pretty much. It's a glorified NDA. Anyway, so after how many pages? 5 pages of comedy material. I made through all of these strikes, and they essentially said to me, signed a contract with myself. Yes, I signed a contract with myself, just so I know that I'm, this holds no weight on scrutiny, you know. The NDA, okay, the first two and 3 pages, so up to 4.4. Up to 4.4, this holds scrutiny. Up to 4.4, this holds up. Anything past 5 doesn't. Because 5, in the state of Victoria, where I do live, this essentially becomes null because it can lead to. It's essentially used as a gateway of protection for unjustified firings and all that type of shit. 6, there's so much disagreement here. It's almost like you're sitting there being. It's like you're essentially in 7 at the moment. You're a bloke eating meat at a vegan protest. That's how much fucking disagreement there is here. This is no contract. Yeah, pretty much. This is a fucking piss take. Anyway, so this locked account decides that it wants to start talking shit. Of course, Gina, if you are watching from home, make sure you do put something out on the Twitter so we can publicly mock and criticize you. Bitches don't call me by your name, they call you daddy. For banger tweets like that, make sure you do check out my Twitter, Gina from the Bay. But essentially, we can take a look at the mental breakdown that did occur when we started to see a lot of this true ambition shit go down. Essentially, this was the Super Bowl. This was the Super Bowl here. The Super Bowl was in February. The huge Google Doc, or the one that I was just showing, this one here, came out about a week after. This came out about a week after. The Google Doc came out February 21. So this is around about here-ish. Around about here. A lot of the tweets were deleted. A lot of the tweets were deleted. I want to make that very clear. A lot of the tweets that we had were deleted. I have a copy of majority of them, purely because I was screenshotting them and laughing. And so majority of the stuff that is sort of around the Twitter and around the sort of, I guess, scope of the brain rot. Essentially the brain rot. So we can take a look at the brain rot. We can take a look at the fucking... What's my Twitter? My Twitter, it's... That's me. But I'm not here to promote myself. Essentially, a lot of the tweets from the day were deleted. We can take a look at every single time I've bugged her, essentially. April 19th. Still getting bugged. Shit happened 2 months ago. I'm pretty sure I then come back with screenshots and shit, yeah? Of course, I come back with evidence. I come back packing, yeah? I come back fucking packing.
What do you mean by that?
We're essentially coming back. Gina went offline for almost a month. And then when she fucking came back onto social media, that includes Twitter and Instagram, she pretended like she didn't fucking know who I was. Which is quite funny, really. It's quite funny, acting like nothing had ever happened. It's quite funny. I don't mind that at all. All of a sudden, continuing to call me a federal, call me a fed, call me... Imagine I was messaging the wrong Insta. No, I wasn't. I knew I wasn't. Calling me a cop, essentially. He's bored, wants some attention. I kind of do. I do want a little bit of attention. I want you to pay me. That's the attention that I really want. This is the big tweet here. Remain silent and he would have gotten it, but no. He wanted to join the hype train. This is the most incriminating tweet. If I'm Gina Moore at the moment, I delete this tweet the moment I send it out. I'm Gina Moore. This is the tweet that I don't want anyone fucking seeing. Because what this tweet is essentially saying is if I had kept my fucking mouth shut, I would have gotten paid. Instead of speaking out about how shit True Ambition was. This person ran marketing at True Ambition. Yes. I've completely forgotten your name. Alistair, yeah, this was the same stuff. I said don't worry about it because the team at the time was fine. We're all fine. In terms of money, we're fine. Wix, I'm pretty sure, did get paid a little bit. Wix is probably the one you have to worry about. Me, I'm fine. I'm commentating, I'm fine. I'm fine for money. I'm just annoyed about these guys purely because they want to sit there and they want to get away with this. This is what this is about. This isn't about getting paid. So that tweet is the biggest tweet. That tweet is the biggest tweet. And then this one is one of my favorites.
You can't finesse a
You cannot finesse a finesser. Essentially admitting that True Ambition was all a big scam, all a big fucking finesse. This is a mental tweet. This is a fucking mental tweet to put out. This is fucking crazy. The biggest problems with bedroom Twitterologs, essentially yes. This is the biggest issue, is the fact that they'll sit there, they'll promise you the world. They were promising to fly out a fucking Australian team that had yet to make it out of open to DreamHack fucking and Fragadelphia and shit. You cannot finesse a finesser. That's completely fine. That's completely fine. You want to sit there and you want to admit to finessing people who worked for you. Who the fuck invited this dude? This was also another day that I tried to ask for my money back and she said, can't stand you. That's completely fine. Not many women can. And so this one's also funny as hell. So, no catfishing. This is not a fish fry. I'm pretty sure this is a song. But essentially, this is all of the shit that happened. This is saying never switch sides, all that shit. This is the type of shit they were saying to me when I was asking to get paid, pretty much after I'd put that thing. After I'd put out this document. This was the type of shit they were saying. They're like, you're a dog, you switch sides, you're a cop, you're a fucking cunt, essentially. Brad is a fucking trooper. Alright, I want to just mention this. Brad is a fucking trooper. Motherfucker is a shooter. I love Brad. I love Brad. As much as I fucking play around with, as much as I play around with Endangered on Twitter, I fucking love Brad. Brad and Wix are probably two of the best people in this situation. Of course, other than the glorious Gina Moore and Corey Hunter themselves. Apart from those two, apart from Corey Hunter, who is obviously God, and Gina Moore, the fucking disgusting little toenail fucking rat. Apart from those two, it's fine. Essentially, I was pretty pissed off at this point. This is a point where I was asking, in May, it was about 2 or 3 months after, I was like, hey, you still gonna pay me, or what's going on? They were like, Lele's in her bag because she can't catch up. If you sit there and you look at the receipts between me and Gina, Lele is the nickname that she uses when she solicits prostitution.
Whoa. Oh la la. Oh, king in the castle. Have a chair, I have a chair.
I'm going to let that sit for a bit. I'm going to repeat that. A lot of the True Ambition funds were either done through gambling or prostitution.
What the hell? Oh my God, no.
This is the worst bit. This is the dark timeline. For everyone here, the prostitution shit is fucking mental. We'll go through that in a second. But essentially, Lele was the name that Gina Moore used to use when she would solicit prostitution and sell girls of the night to men. This Rolex was fake. Okay, you don't know that bit? Okay. I put, that is mad. That is the fucked up bit. This is a fake Rolex as well. This is we clown the shit out of her for this. Me, Brad, Wicks, we all clown the shit out of her for this. Essentially, this Rolex was fake. I've had enough from you, bitch. You're blocked from this phone. Still, just me annoying her. Just me continuing to annoy her and watch her go to Twitter. Because this is the funny thing, right? He's a pussy. That's not true. I'm not a pussy. I'm not a pussy. I'll deck you, Gina. I'll deck you. Come on. I've laid more Brexit tackles than fucking... I've laid more Brexit tackles than anything. Anyway. They'll backdoor you, say you're a snake. This... This is one of my favorite tweets. I've got a lot of favorite tweets on the Gina Moore Twitter account. There's stuff that rarely bangs on the Gina Moore Twitter account. This tweet is one of them. This tweet is one of them. This is, unfortunately, what this org had become. I'm back for good, landed first team, new staff. This was fake. This was fake. This contract was fake. This is Brad clowning. This is Brad just clowning, honestly. Brad just clowning. You ask for a graphics effects artist on a private account. And fucking... Not even the bots wanted to go near it. Not even the bots wanted to go near it, yeah? I keep quiet, people still come for me. I haven't been on Twitter in God knows how long. Live long banger. So they say this live long banger shit every fucking day. She wasn't on Twitter for 20 days. Or she hadn't posted in 20 days, at least. She was active on Twitter. This is about me. That boy's federal. This is about me. I'll happily own up to this one. This is brain rot. This actual photo is brain rot.
Is there a way to talk to these kind of...
Dude, just talk to him.
It's not that simple, okay? There's a process.
This is genuinely... Anyway. I'm pretty sure I put out a tweet going, this is genuine brain rot. This is brain rot. She's suffering from a mental illness. It has to be. This is ridiculous. Yep, this is brain rot. When you're a blood... Also, her gang affiliations are fake. If you look at a lot of the criminal records... I remember I went through a whole heap of criminal records back in the day, especially searching through her name, searching through Corey's name. They claimed they were in prison. They weren't. Free my cousin. The cousin got shot, essentially. We were told that we couldn't get paid because Corey's cousin got shot. It shouldn't have been Corey's cousin. It should have been fucking Corey. Let's keep it a stack. Anyway. Let's keep me out of your mentions. Essentially, what this is saying, don't fucking talk to me, don't at me, because I added her in a bit of a joke. Anyway, Gina, have you posted anything? Guys, drum roll, please. Are you watching with us live? That's fine, you're not. That's okay. I wouldn't expect anything anyway. The biggest thing at the moment, essentially, from this Gina Moore Twitter account is that it is so mentally unstable. It is an account riddled with brain rot. It is an account that just has some of the most absurd visions of life and the world ever. So I'm going to go back to a point that I did speak upon. The prostitution allegations were brought up by me, essentially. They were brought up by me. I will admit that I did have copies of these screenshots for any update on the model. No, we can't find it. I did have screenshots of the prostitution stuff in this tweet longer that I did put out. Essentially, a whole heap of stuff coming through. This is the main screenshot here. This is not, if I tell you a secret, can you keep a secret? I'll always keep my mouth shut. You're a friend finder. Essentially, what she had said is, I'm a friend finder. And in this bit down here, I find talent for lonely men or people. It's a bit of a shame that I didn't screenshot this when it happened. But to be fair, this was back in December. This was the day after Christmas. So, honestly, I should have screenshotted that because it is a felony. It's a felony that carries a sentence of 15 years maximum over in the States, over in Nevada, where they do live. And a whole heap of stuff that essentially is not acceptable. This bit is the worst. This whole prostitution shit is the worst. I want to get that very clear. The whole prostitution shit is the worst. It's some of the most despicable, some of the most unsavory, some of the most disgusting things that I learnt about after my time. It's not a satisfying thing to know that if you were paid, you would have been paid from prostitution money. It's something that I personally don't like the idea of. It's something that if I knew, I would have probably not dealt with that situation. And it's something that I am not proud to be associated with. I hate this screenshot. This screenshot is one of the reasons that I really, really am pissed off with True Ambition. Here was a screenshot also detailing the mass amount of criminal offenses.
I'm going to jail!
Yeah, it's not my fault how I got the money, but essentially it's still shit to be associated with, because it's something that doesn't sit well with me, knowing that people are not only taking advantage of people in esports, but also taking advantage of women who don't have anywhere to turn. That's the worst bit. That's the bit that I hate. That's something that I don't like. And I want to get that clear. This screenshot, however, essentially, this was Gina. So Snapback and Gina used to share a Discord account, because back when a lot of this started, you couldn't easily switch between Discord accounts. Essentially, Gina was bragging about going to prison, saying that she had gone into the pen for armed robbery, kidnap, assault with a deadly weapon. Bear in mind, minimum sentence of 26 years. She was 24 years old. That's the age that she told me. She was 24 years old. That's something there. I don't want to leak a lot of that conversation, because that conversation is some of the stuff coming through. And then this screenshot here is something that is also related to the prostitution shit that I do have to bring up. This is... I don't want to talk about this screenshot, because this is essentially one of the more shittier versions of True Ambition that we didn't really get to see out into the public eye until everything was said and done. Let's get the mood back up, yeah? Let's talk about getting Snap banned from Genesis. Let's talk about getting Snap banned from Genesis. So, Snapback, when he was essentially, he acted like he was going to be a photographer, he decided that he wanted to go to Genesis for a free ticket. Contacted Genesis, decided to work with them, essentially got media passes for everything, until he started bragging about it towards me. Now, bragging about something to someone who does not like you, how do you reckon that goes? How do you reckon it goes? When someone brags about something good happening for them when you don't like them. When our good friend Snapback wants to stop talking about Allah, of course, using religion as a have been mentioned. Using religion as a bit of a way out is a bit of a fucking joke. As much as I'm not religious, using religion as a joke, using religion as a way out is a fucking joke, alright? Laughing at the shit you see on Twitter, that's fine enough. Allah has better plans for me pushing in the right direction. I hope the right direction is 6 feet down. There was a tweet, I have to find it now, this one here. So this is in response to Snapback having his media passes taken away from Genesis. The media passes would have essentially given him free access to pretty much everything, the player rooms, the media rooms, essentially anything he wanted to get into. When you sit there and you lie, deceit, cheat your way into a position where you can gain notable credibility, usually this kind of thing doesn't end well. Having someone like Snap be in a position where having someone like Snap be in a position where he could have taken advantage of a young smasher who had paid his way into Genesis to play into the open bracket. Having a player who is so young and impressionable is really a daunting thought. And so dealing with a situation, I gotta close that. I can't have people know who I'm talking to. Dealing with a situation where you feel like there's some responsibility to step up and be in a position where you can protect someone else. Being into a position where you have the potential to stop people taking advantage of other people is not a position that you often are able to be put into. I got into contact with Genesis's TOs because I've done a little bit of work with some of the Genesis TOs and done a little bit of work with them over in Australia. It wasn't playing or anything. We got drunk at a bar one night. Snap decides that he's going to brag. I don't want to show the conversation with the Genesis TOs. I don't want to show the conversation, but the gist is we don't want to have a young kid taken advantage of. A 16-year-old smasher who's sitting there playing by himself, has self-funded a trip to head to Genesis, has had his parents probably drive him down, has sat there, he's grinding Fox, he's sitting there, he's playing the open bracket just because he knows he's going to get knocked out third round and then he can go watch J-Mook on main, right? It found out that Snapback was essentially gaining the media pass by saying that he was sponsoring a player and through his own photography work. His photography work was a dead link, and the player that he had listed as a sponsor wasn't a player. Actually, sorry, he was a player, but the player didn't know him. There was fake information that he put in for media passes, and he got banned from the event. And so putting out a tweet like this, after you've just been banned from the biggest event in your state, is fucking disgraceful. Saying, I'm not paying a ticket, you've banned me from the event, I'm gonna fucking break into the event. This is fucked. This is dreadful. This is honestly one of the worst of Snapback's tweets. Anyway, this was a thing up here, but we'll talk about that in a sec. But being banned from Genesis was not the worst of Snapback's troubles. Of course, if we go to the same date, February 21, and we watch Snapback's reaction to where is it? This document being released. Essentially, it's even worse than Gina's because this is the next tweet. Watch what I do. Saying stuff like this. Moral of the story, my ex-wife created Gina for the stuff that she was doing while we were married. Only reason Gina was revived was because I went away for a month and she started running the org. I don't care what anyone says. I'm gonna have her back thick and thin.
I cream the pussy. I need the pussy. My wife divorced me. And I'm very, very sad. And I'm going through a midlife crisis.
This tweet essentially is saying that the Gina account is fake. This account is saying the Gina account's fake. And especially seeing that I'm going to stick up for my ex-wife who decided to try and fuck over Wix, one of the more respectable people here in UK CSGO. Also, this was fake as well. End of the day, I'm going to be a dad. My ex-wife and I are on good terms. What else? I'm getting my CLD. Life looking up right now. He never was going to become a dad. He was using the fact that he was a father to sit there, not pay anybody. Wix confronted him about this, and I respect Wix so much for sitting in the fucking trenches and going after the cunt. It's just disgusting. It's disgusting. This is apparently Gina's real name, Johnny, even though she wants to be called Gina, even though her real name's Jasmine. She's got so many fucking names, it's almost like you're sitting there playing a fucking tournament every time you talk to her, mate. It's absurd. It's absurd. It really is. It's essentially saying that Snap's ex-wife going deep down, I always want to know, I'm the one that created her. I'm the one with her voice. She sounds just like me, if not similar to me. And that's even more crazier. I don't know. I've been watching her page forever. And I see the shit that she does. Like, she could resemble me. Hell, to be honest, though. She could resemble me to hell. To be honest, though, I would want to meet her and be friends with her, really. This is actually a sign of brain rot. This has to be a sign of brain rot. You're sitting there saying, a fake persona that I created is me. A fake persona that you've admitted to creating is me. Snap is saying this like he's fucking won. Snap is saying this like he's fucking won. I don't understand how this can go through someone's head and be an acceptable thing to think. This response also pisses me off. I'm going, please, for the love of God, can anyone else see the levels of crazy from both of them? It's not just me. And then how am I crazy when all of this shit is over a catfish profile? You said that I'm behind, which is false information. The catfish part is correct. We don't know who's behind it, and we probably never will. And the fact that tomorrow he says, the day after, essentially, the tweet gets dropped, I'll be back. It's almost like Deji saying, I'm going to shock the world. Essentially, it's just not going to go well. And then they sit there and they start spamming all this shit. You know, being over at NBA games when they're not playing people, buying shoes, you know, running into Klay Thompson. Klay, I feel so bad for you, bro. Also, Corey, what the fuck is your head cunt? I swear, fucking Klay thought your head was a ball. That's why I picked you up, Matt.
His ability to come down, throw it, and look away. He's not even going. Sometimes you sneak peek. He's getting back. He's not even paying attention.
Well, let's be nice. Yeah. Let's be nice. We don't have to go there. I mean, you're not wrong, but you didn't have to say it. I mean, good Lord.
Anyway, his response was somehow better than Gina's, which is not surprising. However, his response to Genesis was not. Spamming OT3. This tweet that he responded to was essentially one of the players in the former Trambition roster going, at Trambition, thank you for ruining my fucking career. Thank you for making my first org experience horrible. Something like that. Because we essentially got no support from the org. If the team wanted anything, it would usually be me paying out of pocket. And then Snap goes, I don't know how, but okay, I guess. And then Elmo's World, fucking acting like a little kid. Anyway, you sit there, you talk all this gang shit, and you're literally fucking... A lot of the owners will work and then put money into the org. I have a suspicion that a lot of the money that was put into Trambition was either done through prostitution, either done through money laundering, done through selling drugs, selling illegal drugs, and potentially ripping off people. A lot of the things that are coming through from Trambition essentially are just absurd. Like, when Trambition originally started in 2010, Trambition initially started in 2010. That's a fact. Essentially, they found their home in Australian Halo and Smash. Honestly, they should have fucking stayed there. Sad thing is, there's a lot of dirty money. Trambition was a registered company that went under in 2015. So Trambition was a registered company that lost its license due to the fact they didn't renew it in 2015, and then they just went, we'll use the same logo, essentially. How are they not massive? I honestly don't know. Purely, I think mainly because of the ESIC stuff that happened in Australia around that same time. You know, the ESIC bans came through, a lot of Australian esports guys were like,
I don't want to do this no more.
Registered in NA. So it was registered in NA. It was registered in the state of California. State of California or Nevada? It was one of the two. It was either California or Nevada. It was registered as an LLC. The license essentially expired in 2015. They renewed it. They didn't renew the license, but they rejuvenated the org in 2021. They picked up the now Black Hand roster with EJR, my apologies. EJR, Ethan, if you're still in chat. And essentially, they didn't really go through anything properly legal. So when it seemed as if they grew too quickly, and when they decided that they essentially did what Order did, they expanded a little bit too quickly. They realized, oh shit, we owe people money, I'm disappearing. To be fair, yeah, as soon as the LLC runs out, contracts are void. That's essentially what happened. The LLC ran out, so the players were free to go. I was never signed to a contract, essentially, as they refused. And there's proof of that up here on the premises. They aren't TA limited. Yeah, I honestly don't know too much about businesses and all that. I am mainly I mainly just look at laws when I get bored. But essentially, there's proof of me sitting there going, can I get a contract? And them going, no. Putting it off to the side, which is fairly annoying. But anyway, if we do look at some of the old stuff that we do have, we can take a look at a few of the, I guess, egos that were showing up. There was some egos around a few things, especially a person called Gina Stacks. Of course, I've tried to get into contact with Gina Stacks for the past 2 or 3 months. Refused. However, letting go of Gina Stacks due to unprofessional actions, this is the right way to run the org. And it's a shame that it's on Facebook. It's an absolute shame if it's on Facebook. Yeah. If orgs are smart, they'll pay lawyers. This is the right way. This is the right way to run an org. If someone fucks up, you say, hey, look, we're letting you go. Some banner in Twitch chat for Super Smash Bros. Tournament, including a child charity. Regarding a top player went a bit too far. So I assume a slur was dropped. The Wix situation we can also talk about. This was Snapback's initial response to me privately to the Wix situation. So when Wix put out his thing saying, hey, True Ambition haven't fucked me. True Ambition fucked me, they haven't paid me. True Ambition haven't fucked me. True Ambition fucked me, they haven't paid me. Essentially, this was the private response. And this was a lot of the sentiment around Gina and Snap. Essentially, I was saying to them, admit that you fucked up. Say, yeah, it's just to say, admit that you fucked up. Say, yep, we fucked up. We've paid him. Honestly, we didn't intend for this situation to go like this. But they essentially refused to understand what I was saying.
Say again? What'd you say?
When I was saying, this will get you the least backlash. Saying, yep, we fucked up. Honestly, we fucked up. We didn't understand about this situation until now. We fixed it. We've made it all good. We're going to continue to try work to make sure this doesn't happen again. Something like that. They refused. And essentially, Snap went on Twitter on a big Twitter rant saying, essentially shit like, look, I need to try and find his Twitter rant. He went on a big rant. I'm pretty sure he deleted it. But essentially he went, I'm going to back my ex-wife because at the end of the day, I run an org with her, is essentially what she said. So Wix put out a tweet longer, about a week before I did. So a week before I did, essentially what had happened was there's a big brawl in terms of True Ambition's back of house, and it was me mainly against management. And as someone who was a part of management, I think it's kind of like they just assumed that it didn't matter because they wouldn't pay me anyway, which honestly a bit shit. But oh well, you live and you learn. The stub situation, as much as there was the initial thing, not to forget the third game, you lied about and threw Stubbs under the bus, blaming him for the cancellation, which was a lie. They actually decided to cancel on Wix in turn for me. They didn't pay me for any casting or anything. They were supposed to, but they didn't. On the day, turning down another org, same game time. So essentially, Wix had booked himself out for the entire season with this team, and they refused to pay him, which was the big thing. And then they decided to throw their GMs and all that under the bus. As much as I love Smiler, as much as I love Stubbs, they got fucked. They got railed. This was me essentially annoying Snap quite recently, going, yo, you still need to pay me for the money that you owe.
Here's the fucking money, shithead! It's down there somewhere. Let me take another look.
I even lowered it down just purely because it's supposed to be K. I put 750 just so it's easier. Not me. I'm being a little nice. I'll check in my PayPal. It's your org. Your name's on the mantle head. You owe me money. You won't be getting it from me. So saying if I want to get paid, I've got to go get it from someone else. In what a world where we don't have to take responsibility for our actions. There was a contract, the OT3 contract was meant to replace the 750. That was the agreement that we came to. The contract was meant to be the reason I stopped bringing up the 750 UO, but it's all good. You can just play the 750 now. And then he just refused to talk. And I was like, we hate talking. Never thought I'd see a cocky yet shy American. It's such a shame. And then I'm not paying. You can take this contract offer. And then I take it. And then he denies it. And then this is also a fucking just incorrect for someone who claims he knows a lot about law. Rather be judged by 12 than carried by 6. Like, it just doesn't even make sense, really. What are we doing? Some fucking 12 Angry Men type of shit? Like, it's honestly just sad. It's honestly sad. But anyway, I got Gina to leave OT3, but she never left, which is all okay. And then, honestly, it's just sad. I really don't want to be... The main thing is, like, it's just sad, honestly. Like, it's just... Why would I even resign? Purely so I can get paid. So I've got a contract to get paid. I just wanted to annoy him, really. I wasn't going to do fucking shit. I was going to sit there and be like, oh, I'm trying to find a roster, but because of you two, I can't find anything. Essentially, anyway. This is also a screenshot looking at the company LLCs all over America. This essentially is a screenshot that's saying that there's only 2 true ambitions in America. None of them currently active. None of them currently recently active. One's in Maryland. One's in Washington. I did find government records saying that there was stuff about one in fucking Nevada, but that was a fair while ago. And so essentially, after a lot of the shit was about to go down, this is when Wix's situation came out. This is when I was starting to question a lot of the stuff that was happening in the org. They don't put LLC in. They don't put the LLC name in the contract. I'm pretty sure they did. I do have a copy of one of the players' contracts. However, his address is in there, and I don't want to leak that. Thank God. I accidentally just clicked it. Whoops. It's got his name in it, and so it's got his name. It's got his address in there. I don't want to leak that, so I'm going to quickly just delete a lot of the entries about this. Anyway, so this was the contract that they gave the players at True Ambition initially. They did put LLC at the top. They said it was an LLC all the way through. They went, essentially it was founded 18th of April 2010, which is correct. That's the only fucking bit they got right. But NDA, same stuff that they put in, mainly just saying you're a Counter-Strike player for us. And then they said you're a professional esports athlete, which is crazy. And then he or she agrees 18 years or older. They knowingly used this contract to sign a 17-year-old, but that's okay. This contract was actually for a 17-year-old at the time. I actually had to read over this purely because I didn't feel comfortable with a 17-year-old signing this fucking contract. And then this was the big thing. Organization was to receive 20% of essentially... so essentially the org funds ESCA seasons. They get 20% of the winnings. Was what they were taking, which... absurd, really. Absurd. Just completely absurd. And then 8.3 is a violation of Australian law. I literally sat there while drunk in a bar writing half of this. My fucking girlfriend was there. She can attest to the fact that I was half drunk at a bar writing half of this. Because Gina didn't know what the fuck she was doing. Sorry. Jasmine. Sorry, Johnny. Sorry, whatever the fucking name she comes up with. Anyway, Katana take 15. Yeah, so essentially, everyone has their base. 20% isn't bad. That's correct. 20% is not the worst I've seen. 100 Thieves were taking 85 or something like that. 20% isn't the worst. But when players are self-funding to go to these games and play in these tournaments, and you're still taking 20%, when players are self-funding and you're taking 20%, that's the bit. Thank fucking God we didn't win any money. Actually, that's a lie. I'm going to leak something. Under the True Ambition name, as well, we're going to take 70% and not promote you. Under the True Ambition name, we did technically win 2 events. We won over $3,000 worth in prize money at those 2 events. And we didn't give Gina and Snap shit because they didn't fund them. And they didn't know about it. Which is our little fuck you. Anyway, what we are looking at the moment is the aftermath in between myself and Corey after the Wix situation. So, Snap saying, I've deleted my Twitter, you still got me on Discord, you make posts talking about something when I said I wasn't on here, like we go with all the shit. The players pay, they should never be made to play. Exactly. That's half of what an org should be. It should be taking the financial burden of self-funding. That's literally 100%. I agree with you. 100%. The money that does get paid, players, if they do self-fund, they should be getting all of the fucking profits. But, oh well. So, essentially, it never stated in the contract to be paid for ESCA premium. I had to essentially pull out a contract that I was never given and said that the contract says mutually agreed fees will be paid by the org, which the org did agree to pay for. Yeah, league fees want to see. It's essentially $300 USD that he was refusing to pay. He's just refusing to pay $300 for an org, for a team who was buying 12-month ESCA subs. The whole team is in university. The whole team works maybe 10 hours max a week. We're not getting enough money to sit there and have you taking a cut of prize money as well as making us pay. Just so you know, before this season ends, I want to take care of the boys and start working on you because the first month you said you wanted your salary to go, but the boys... Essentially what Corey did... Okay, this is the most fucking annoying situation. Corey refused to fund the fucking players. He was taking it out of my salary. Corey refused to fund the players and he was taking it out of my salary. I just want to say that once more. Corey refused to fund the players. The org refused to fund the players. And he took it out of my salary that he never paid. Corey put me in a position where either I get kicked or I give up my salary. This was probably the worst situation. To be put into a call with the team, myself, Snap, and Snap essentially say, we're not funding you, Flam's got it. It's shit. It's fucking dog shit. Along with that, he promised servers, he promised fees, he promised finding fees for me, scouting bonuses, that kind of thing. He promised that, didn't get it. He promised servers, didn't get it. Promised TeamSpeak chat, TeamSpeak groups, didn't get it. If you're trying to be clear and transparent, like he said up here, why fuck around with Wix? If you're not going to give people who work for you assurance that what happened on Wix won't happen again, you're saying clear and transparent without knowing what the meaning of the words are. Look, I never knew about the finder's fee, which is bullshit, because I told him about it literally day 3 of when they brought me on officially. He used his girlfriend might be pregnant. Fuck no, baby! As a reason to delete Twitter and not deal with accountability. We were having a conversation on Twitter at the time when he deactivated. And it was a pretty fucking heated one, if I remember correctly. I'm tired of everyone's BS, not yours though, and I have an explanation for the email. I'm gonna come out and say I'm not Gina, but I know who she is. Who then? Exactly. The thing is that they refuse to give me a contract. And then when they do give me one, they refuse to sign their half. That's the issue I have with them at the moment, is that they're being fucking stingy bastards, and I don't want to let them get away with it. We've been sat here for nearly 90 minutes, and we're still talking about them. Which is quite funny. So, Snap says that the account was made when she was 17, in 2015. If she was 17 in 2015, Snap was married to her in 2015.
Oh! Ew!
I have a fucking copy of their fucking marriage license. I have a fucking copy of it. So either Snap was married to a fucking 17-year-old or he's a lying cunt. Small claims to go is the way to go. Yep. The only shit thing is that small claims here in Australia doesn't have the same power as it does in the US, which means I have to go file over in the US. But anyway, Snap was dating a 17-year-old, married a 17-year-old, according to him.
Hey, boy, ain't no fucking way, boy.
Because Gina's his ex-wife. Ooh-wee. Snap was married to a 17-year-old.
I'm Chris Hansen with Dateline NBC, and we're doing a story on adults who try to meet kids online for sex.
Oh, please, sir.
What the fucking Jerry Seinfeld is this shit? So either Snap is Gina, or Snap is a pedophile. That is funny as fuck. I'm a big fan of this, really. A big fan of this situation. I'm gonna keep it a stack. Big fan. Big fan. I didn't even notice this. I didn't notice this bit. He belongs on the island. Either Snap is... Okay, so... Snapback is claiming that Gina is his ex-wife, who made the account in 2015. Snap was married in 2015. She was 17. I don't know how Stubbsy got tangled in a shit show like this. I'm pretty sure he didn't know about half of this shit. I'm certain he didn't know about half of this shit. Because when I asked him about stuff not being paid, he had no clue. He was like, what the fuck is going on? So, either, these are the possible theories that we're working with at the moment. Snap is a pedophile. Snap is running an illegal prostitution ring. Snap is illegally laundering money through an esports business. Snap is Gina and is trying to fuck everyone around. As well as that, Snap doesn't want to pick up the phone. Because I want to ask him about the pedophile shit now. So, it's interesting going through a lot of these logs because a lot of the consensus at the time was that Wix was doing it as a publicity stunt. And he was getting paid. Even though it wasn't enough. But that's okay. The beloved Snap. Let's actually call Gina. Let's call Gina, shall we? Let's get Gina up on the Instagram. Let's give her a quick buzz. She won't pick up because she doesn't use her phone. Apparently, she doesn't have a voice box, according to her. Where is it? This one. Allow microphone access. Ugh. It's very loud. I've muted the tab for the moment, but if she does pick up, then we don't know what's going on. Must enjoy self-sex. No answer! Oh, I'm shocked! Oh! No answer! Can you believe it? There's no answer. Oh, what am I ever going to do? Oh, no. What am I ever going to do? There's no answer. Ah! That's right. So we've confirmed that Snap's a pedophile. Okay, that's hearsay. It's hearsay that he's a pedophile. We'll see. We had situations where Snap would join the team calls in prac, and he would literally do this. Here is my Snapback impression. He would do that for fucking minutes on end. See if his icon changes. We'll see. Ring him again. Yes, sir. You don't have to fucking tell me twice. Essentially, he would do that while the team was in prac. It got to the point where the team refused to use the True Ambition Discord server. I know a lot of teams don't like to use Discord servers that are run by orgs purely because it is so open to everyone who does work in the org. I know that the Legate CSGO team does something very similar. Yeah, Snap's on Do Not Disturb at the moment. Anyway, he come out into the middle of the server, essentially doing some fucking voodoo shit. And then essentially said, I don't know if I want to do this TA shit anymore. And then refused to speak. I literally said to him, okay, you need to stop being fucking cryptic. You need to stop being fucking cryptic. He goes, either tell people what's going on or shut the fuck up. Screenshots that I have. We've seen that Snap's gone offline. Oh, he's back online. He's sitting there. He's watching the call. Oh. Do I have full access of Twitch? I don't have access to the True Ambitions Twitch, no. I have access of my own Twitch. The VOD will be up. I'll probably screen record it. Wonder if my man's found out about the stream yet. He should have. I feel like he's hiding away. I feel like he's hiding. It's just not fair. It's really not fair. Just a little bit sad, really. I'm feeling really lonely. I need a big black Caillou to hold me. Big black man who looks like Caillou to hold me. Anyway. What we did see as well, especially during myself and Wix in the aftermath, was the deflection from True Ambitions ownership, mainly through flexing and mainly through saying, I've got more money with you. I didn't want DC with Streamlink. I may as well. Sorry, all of these calls have been happening during the stream. So I've been calling him, trying to get him to comment on a heap of this shit. But, that's okay. Essentially, what has happened in this chat at the moment is ridiculous. So we have confirmed that Jasmine is Gina. This message here confirms Jasmine is Gina, his ex-wife. So Gina's name is Jasmine. I've been saying my ex-wife the whole time. I don't know Gina on Twitter. I don't know her Twitter. Doesn't know your fucking ex-wife's Twitter. All that shit. However, is happy to say that she was 17. So, my good friend Mr. Snap. My good friend Mr. Snap is a pedophile. Sorry, allegedly a pedophile. It's interesting. Because a few days before I made that big Google Doc, it was... Shit's on a level with Noble. Essentially, he was saying he didn't have a job and was going for a new job. Yet he's still able to fund NBA tickets, still able to fund Rolexes, able to fund himself traveling all over the fucking state of California. Don't even get me started on his political views. Jesus Christ. His political views are quite funny. He reckons that Sleepy Joe is in the wrong and gun violence is okay. I haven't even said that. He said it himself. Which is the saddest bit. Is that he said that Sleepy Joe's an idiot and moved to Nevada. This isn't even a joke. He's in support of gun violence.
You're looking kind of sexy, Donnie. You make me kind of hard, Donnie. Donald is the best. I want to suck his dick. I love his red face and I love his juicy tits.
Even though his cousin got shot. How the fuck does that make sense? How are you going to have a family member get shot and then sit there and say, fuck California because it has the strictest gun laws in the nation? To be fair, he can't have a political opinion because he can't even get girls his own age. Anyway, there's still the goated screenshot. That's complete jokes. Whereabouts is it? It's such a goated screenshot. I love it so much. This is such a goated screenshot. I love this screenshot so much. This is honestly the best work I've ever done. This is my masterpiece. This is my masterpiece. For a Twitter org, an absolute masterpiece. But anyway, I really don't have much time I don't have anything. Sorry, I don't have much time. I don't have much to talk about, really. Brad, and then Wix. You need to follow. You need to be following Wix and Brad. You gotta follow them. You gotta follow them. These two gentlemen, show them some love. These two worked their asses off trying to get information on the Gina and Snapback situation. They've helped me in terms of wording things properly. So make sure you do show them love. Unfortunately, we do have to say goodbye. I know, I was having so much fun. I was having so much fun. So, to cap it off, he is a pussy.
You're playing Minecraft in a cave looking for diamonds. That's funny. I'm in the same cave looking for miners. Cause my sexual attraction to miners is major. Can't even play hopscotch without popping a rager. Always been a pervert, so I accept the insults. When I was a kid, I fucking molested adults.
I've been Flamboyant. Peace.